back, everybody. So today we're going to have the second beer in our second 2-hop series. This series, the second series, is featuring Citra and Amarillo. This is Amarillo Citra. If you haven't, go back and watch review number 1. After I do beer number 2, I will do a video on side by side, just so we can see the differences of this. These are small batches, 1.25 gallons going into the carboy. So this batch is using 2 pounds, 8 ounces of 2-row. Then our boil, 0.25 ounces of Amarillo at 60, 0.25 ounces of Citra at 10 minutes, 0.25 ounces of Amarillo at 5 minutes. Then 3 days into dry hopping, we are going to use 0.25 ounces of each. Original gravity on this one was 17 bricks. This did end at almost 8 bricks. It was 1030. That is using a refractometer, so you do have to use a calculation to get the true gravity or true ABV of this beer. So Amarillo, big orange, sweet citrus, citrus, grapefruit, lime, tropical fruits, and harsh bitterness is what I have. I don't remember seeing harsh bitterness. I'm not, usually I use, I think it's called hopprofile.com to see what the profile of the hops are. So that must be what I used for that. So this one was bottled on 2/21, 8.13%. Now this one is using S04. And if you're wondering, hey, this sounds like the first beer. It is, but we're just switching the hops. So the first beer used Citra Amarillo Citra. This is using Amarillo Citra Amarillo. So for this one, Beersmith wanted 5.3% ABV and 66.4 IBUs. IBUs should be good because I do plug in my alpha acid on those. So this one does have less IBUs than beer number 1. Again, if you didn't watch that, I would go back and watch beer number 1. This is using 4 carbonation tablets, small pearls. New cap, Yakima Valley cap was used on this. So let's go ahead and get it into a glass, since I've already opened it. We should get low flocculation with US04 or S04 yeast. In my experience, like I said in the last video, I usually get a little bit more lemon citrus out of S04 than I do US05, which you should. Off-white head, we do have a head about half a finger, small and medium bubbles on there. Color, this looks oxidized. Dark orange in color, lots and lots of bubbles. I can't see through it. I can't make the light out, but this looks oxidized to me. Now I am bottling directly out of the Mr. Beer itself, so I do have more. I could get oxidized beers a lot more, but really I think I've only had 2 or 3 out of the 55 batches that I made already, but it could also be hop oils. We are using more Amarillo than Citra, so maybe that has something. Let's go ahead and taste, see if we get anything off, and smell. This does smell like a little sweeter citrus than anything. That fruit's still there, but like orange, like a very fresh orange. Like if you got the meat part and you just smelled that, that's what it's coming off. Not a huge orange, but a very sweet, low-level orange citrus followed by a touch of fruit. Maybe a little alcohol coming off there, over 8%, double IPA. I could kind of see that. Yeah, this one, it does smell like there's more alcohol coming off. Like the alcohol's in back after you get that big sweet orange citrus. Let's go ahead and taste. I would say it is oxidized a little bit. Lots of bitterness. Like you get a little bit of sweet citrus fruitiness up front, just a touch. Then it's almost like all bitterness. Maybe a touch of toasted malt in there. I am getting a little bit of alcohol, not very much. But you probably should. It's not covering up that alcohol. It's not supposed to be an 8% beer, 5.3 per beer smith. So that means that yeast did tear this thing up. Yeah, there's more sweetness coming, but that bitterness is very big, just like in the other one. I would almost think, and it could just be because that fruitiness and that citrus isn't there like in beer one, that the perceived bitterness is a lot higher. I would think, which we will go through, that this one has more, is a higher IBU beer than beer number one. It's almost like that bitterness is covering up some of the hops, but I'm going to go with it is oxidized already after a month just by the color. But we got the head staying around. Is it drinkable? Yes. Very drinkable. If you're into bitter beers or lots of bitterness in your beers, you're going to be fine. There's not a lot of flavor. For as much bitterness as there, I would expect a lot more, fruitiness, juiciness, citrus in there, especially because we're using more Amarillo, maybe more orange citrus, and you're just not getting it, at least right now in this one. But still, I think it shows off the hops some. I'm not, I guess, we're not that high, 10 points higher if you go by your ratio of original gravity to bitterness. So if you're at a 1053 for the IBUs, you want a 1053 just to start out with. We're about 10 points higher. It tastes like it's way more than 10 points. But yeah, maybe it was just because of all the bubbles. You are getting a little bit more orange citrus in this one. But it's like that orange citrus gone rind bitterness. Like orange rind bitterness is what you're getting in here. Smooth. Yeah, it tastes fine. Definitely one I wouldn't make, but we will be making a lot more of these to see what we can come up with. So if you want to see some more homebrew videos, check them out over here. And until next time, happy brewing.